For centuries, the Silk Roads connected east and west, shaping the world through trade and culture. Today, the China-Europe Railway Express is the new Silk Road, 12,000 kilometers of steel rails linking Chinese factories to European markets in just 2 weeks. This railway is a cornerstone of China's Belt and Road Initiative, challenging the dominance of maritime trade and offering a faster, more reliable land route. It's not just about moving goods, it's about shifting global power, forging new partnerships, and binding dozens of countries to China's economic engine. The railway's rapid growth created jobs, spurred development, and lowered costs for consumers across continents. It became a symbol of international cooperation, bridging cultures and economies in pursuit of shared prosperity. But as the world's supply chains grew more dependent on this lifeline, its strategic importance and vulnerability became clear. The China-Europe Railway is more than a trade route. It's a battleground for influence in the 21st century. And in 2025, that battleground would face its greatest test yet. Poland, the gateway for China-Europe trains entering the EU, held a unique position of power. For years, it thrived as a vital transit hub, benefiting from the economic boom the railway brought. But rising tensions with China and Russia, and pressure from NATO and the EU, forced Poland to choose sides. In autumn 2025, Warsaw halted the trains, citing security and unfair trade, but the real message was geopolitical realignment. The shutdown was a bold move, weaponizing geography to disrupt a multi-billion-dollar trade route. Polish leaders framed it as defending European values, but it also reflected deep historical anxieties about Eastern powers. By blocking the railway, Poland asserted its sovereignty, but risked economic fallout and division within Europe. The world watched as a single decision threatened to unravel the new Silk Road. China didn't flinch when Poland closed the border. Instead, Beijing activated contingency plans, rerouting trains through the Middle Corridor, across Kazakhstan, the Caspian Sea, and into southeastern Europe. Massive investments poured into ports, railways, and ferries along this new route, turning a setback into an opportunity. China courted new partners in Turkey, Hungary, and Serbia, rewarding those who welcomed its trade and isolating those who didn't. The Arctic Silk Road, once a distant idea, gained new momentum as China explored every possible alternative. The message was clear. China's commitment to Eurasian trade was unbreakable, and its strategy was flexible. The Polish blockade, meant to check China's ambitions, only accelerated the evolution of the Belt and Road. China's network grew more diverse, resilient, and influential than ever. The dragon had simply changed its path. Poland's blockade sent shockwaves through Europe, but unity quickly gave way to division. Germany, reliant on the railway for its manufacturing might, faced economic pain and openly criticized Poland's move. Southeastern Europe, Hungary, Serbia, Greece, became the new hubs for Chinese trade, welcoming investment and opportunity. The EU fractured. Some backed Poland, others pursued their own interests, exposing deep rifts in European strategy. Businesses scrambled as supply chains broke down, shipping costs soared, and smaller companies suffered most. China exploited these divisions, strengthening ties with willing partners and sidelining opponents. The result, not a weaker China, but a more complex, fragmented Europe and a Belt and Road Initiative that adapted and thrived. The blockade's intended message was lost in the chaos of unintended consequences. The new Silk Road had simply found new roads. In the aftermath, Poland faced economic losses and growing isolation, quietly seeking a way to restore lost trade. China doubled down on its southern routes, fast-tracking infrastructure and forging lasting partnerships in the Balkans. The era of a single, dominant land route was over. Redundancy and diversification became the new norm. Logistics firms and manufacturers learned to hedge against political risk, accelerating innovation in global supply chains. The crisis forced both sides to adapt, creating a more resilient but complex network for Eurasian commerce. The Polish blockade was a turning point, revealing the deep ties between trade and geopolitics. As the dust settles, the future of East-West trade remains uncertain, reshaped by rivalry, resilience, and the relentless search for connection. The story of the Silk Road continues, its next chapter being written in real time.